let's just, I do need to, I'll just put this down, a little stretchy out a little bit. We said that breath was one of the major components of meditation. Of course, it is a major component of your life, isn't it? So we're trying to get as much breath as we can in. And in yoga, we use that tool of listening and feeling the breath as a focal point. So our arms on, we're sitting very nicely here. Let's find our seat first. Oh, yeah. Wow, let's make sure we're really sitting on 2 seat bones and all the good flesh God gave us here. And lifting up tall, so we don't look stiff and uncomfortable. What we look like, we're doing something besides sitting, right? We're sitting up nicely, and roll those shoulders back around twice. So the breath is going to come through the throat. So let's open up the neck center, all right, like this. And bring your hands like this if you can. And we're just going to make some big circles from there around. Just opening up the body, freeing up all the space so the breath can travel. How about the other way? Just a few times. I do this every morning and all the crunches in my shoulders and neck. So yeah, fantastic. And let's lift the shoulders up and look up at the beautiful sky. No clouds today. Exhale, let the chin come down. Little neck joint freeing here. Inhale the head up and look up and take a nice breath into your chest. Exhale that breath out. Let go anything you don't want to carry around today. Let's let the chin sweep over to the right collarbone and the left collarbone and all the way around in a big circle like the big sun up there. And sweep that chin over to the opposite collarbone and back and all the way around in a big circle. Fantastic. And as best you can, let's take the hands out and open up the joints of the fingers. I like to honor the parts of the body that work so hard here. So we're going to stretch it out a little bit. And now take a breath into the back body, like this, like you're hugging a big tree, and let it go. Feel the strap on the back expand. So a lot of our breathing apparatus lays to the back of the body. So breathe in and let it go. And take the hands to the ribs, and again, emphasizing our body's a 3D container here. So breathe in and feel the ribs open on the front, sides, and back. And this is a breath we use a lot when we're standing up or in yoga because we want the energy up, so we want the breath up here, don't we? I have to be careful not to throw in yoga here, don't I? And then we'll take our hands down to the belly and we breathe. It's a little harder to feel the belly breath when you're sitting, but when you lie down at night, this is the breath of relaxation. The homework is for everybody to lie on the floor for 5 minutes this week, every day, and feel your belly just expand and recede with each breath. So we have all these cavities in the body to fill with breath, and most of us don't get beyond here. It's like this. It's like this, isn't it? We don't get beyond there. And you know, folks, even if you were a smoker once in your life and tell this to your friends, there's more new baby lung to be developed through breath work. So the breath is a focus that we use. We always have it with us. So a quick review, and let's not talk, I don't want to blah, blah too long here, but meditation is simple but not easy. It's not easy because your mind is going in 15 different directions at once. It wants to run the show. It's made to think. It's a wonderful thing. But sometimes we need to slow it down, rein it in, so that it's working for us a little better, so we're not working for our mind constantly. So it's an extended concentration, and that is not easy. So we're actually watching, we're observing our mind, we're witnessing, wow, look at that mind. Isn't it crazy? It's going back and forth. We're slowing down enough to honor the witness in us to observe ourself. And the more we can observe ourself, the more we're going to have a happier, freer day and life, because we'll know how we operate a little bit more consciously. What we're trying to do then is just slow the whole system down here. All right, the body, the mind, the heart. Organizationally, this is being used in a lot of police departments, prisons, many, many corporations. I think Aetna was doing meditation because they knew that you'd be much more efficient and productive after you had a little clearing out of all of this. Think of this as your dental floss for the mind. Yes, that's it, your dental floss for the mind. With that being said, we'll get started. And there's some tools you might want to have. Well, I like a chime, but you don't have a chime. So a timer. So you're not thinking about, oh my gosh, is it over? Should I start? Set a timer. Boom. You probably have one on your phone now or your watch. And let the timer take care of the time. You start what you're doing. The timer will tell you when it's over. So your mind doesn't have to think about when you're concluding, okay? So this is my really good friend, the old-fashioned timer I use at home. And so we're going to do our breath work, our fingers. I do invite you to bring your prayer beads, your rosary beads, or anything you have that you like. That tactile sensation, the touch, the hearing, the feeling is a good thing. Okay, it all contributes. All right? And then today we're going to have a new way of doing this. We're going to try some visualization and some alternate nostril breathing, if I can tuck that in. So visualization, I've put a plant there, but visualization, we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's start by finding our seat, lifting up, letting the shoulders go as best you can. Relax the forehead, the jaw, relax your right and left cheekbone. Big sigh in. Let it go. Let the right shoulder go, arm, wrist, and fingers. The left shoulder. Find your feet and find them solidly under your knees. And let's take up and fog a mirror. Remember that? Fog your mirror. And then fog it backwards. And you can be as noisy as you want in this class. We're all here just practicing. So it kind of comes out like this. And if you have to have your mouth open to start, do it. And if you have to have keep your lips closed, fine, either way. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose or parted lips. So we're going to breathe. I'm going to watch the time for you. We're going to sit and we're going to breathe. We're going to watch that crazy mind trying to come in here. And every time it does, over and over again, we're going to return to the breath. Yeah? So here we go. Let's begin. For 2 minutes. Just breathing in and out at your pace. In and out. You don't have to hear me. I'm just white noise. And out. Fill. Release. Fill. Release. In and out. In and out. Notice distraction. You hear it, I hear it to your right. Just say, hearing, and come back to your breath. If the mind has something to say, just thank it for sharing. Excuse it and come back to your breath. Relaxing the shoulders, wrists, and fingers. feeling the quality of the breath. Without judgment. In this last minute of time, see how faithful you can be to the sound and movement of your focal point, your breath. Just a breath or two, you're going to hear the chime tone, and we'll slowly open our eyes and come back to our group of spiritual goddesses here today. We slowly open our eyes to kind of come back to the present moment. Yeah. So, I think I'll wait at the very end for feedback and sharing, and we can keep going on this tack. Now, we discovered last week it was very handy to use our fingers, especially when my mind is very active. So there's one breath in and out, one breath in and out, and I just go up and down the 10, the 8 fingers and the thumbs. The toes, too. So, and again, this is, I think, one of the blessings of if you're Catholic, of the rosary beads or other faiths, the prayer beads, because the touch and the feeling really starts to move the thinking center away. Yeah. So you can choose to do that or not. If you're happy just listening. When I say quality of the breath, I mean, does it feel wet or dry? Does it feel a little stuck, or is it going smoothly? So let's see how smoothly we can breathe our breath and hear it. And again, be just as raspy. This is the ocean sound, the great sound. If you have to make a lot of noise sitting there to hear your breath, you go ahead and do that, all right? Okay, so let's begin again for another, well, we went to a couple of minutes. Let's see if we can go to 5 minutes this time. And it will go by in no time at all, okay? So let's begin. In and out. Every out-breath is a chance to really relax and release and melt into the whole thing. Every in-breath is kind of a pick-me-up. Every out-breath we release and let go of what we don't need to carry around for the rest of this day. You don't own it. You don't need it. Let it go. Inhale every bit of joy of a new day, that you're on this side of the grass and saw the sun come up. And exhale any need to think or complain or anything else that's bothering you. In and out. In and out. One finger, maybe finger. In and out the next finger. Your eyes can be shut, or you can have a soft gaze if you feel safer. over and over again. Come back to your breath. It's okay to hear that little bird in the background and integrate that with your breath. In 8 fingers, you'll hear the chime tone, or 8 breaths. Hearing, back to the breath. And now for the chime tone. Okay, how's everybody doing so far? We good? Yeah? All right, I'm feeling like we're beginning to fall a little bit here. So let's take our hands just to the side of the chair, and in just that simple motion, breathe into your chest. The front ribs, feel the side ribs open under your shoulders. Feel the back body expand. We are 3-dimensional. And notice the difference. Take a breath in and take your hands just up your shoulder. Look at that. More oxygen flooding the muscles of the rib cage, oxygen-rich blood. If you can turn your hands up and open your shoulders and salute the sun, and if you can go up a little higher, do you feel the difference in how much expansion you have in your chest, how much room we have to breathe? And we just don't do that. We don't do that. So if you do this a few times a day, just float the arms up and just open up. You're going to feel ever so much more joyful for the day. All right, let's try something new today, the visualization. So in your mind's eye, that's it. Keep going. Good afternoon, good morning. Join us. We should go have the police department come join us for this, the ones who are hanging out there. We're going to do visualization. And in your mind's eye, you may take, let me give you a little reading here. In your mind's eye, people sometimes, where'd you get that from? Where'd it come from? Where's this from? But you all remember this was a big hit a while back. Eckhart Tolle's The Book of Now. That was around with Wayne Dyer and all that crew. That was very popular 7 or 8 years ago. When you find it hard to get in touch with the inner body, it's usually easier to focus on your breath first. Conscious breathing is a powerful meditation in its own right. Follow the breath with your attention as it moves in and out of your body. If you find it easy to visualize, you can try this. You close your eyes and see yourself surrounded by light or ocean, a sea of consciousness, and breathe in that light. That's a little bit vague, isn't it? So what I like to say is, in your mind's eye, think of something very lovely to you. It could be your grandchild. It could be a smile. It could be your pet. It could be a shell or a rock or something. I'm going to ask you next week to bring something, a visualization if you can remember. I also just threw a plant up here if you want to stare at the plant. All right, but try to keep this picture in your mind. And every time your mind goes off, that bird can keep going, but you still see the plant, you still see the child's picture in your hand. And if you want to bring your own plant or your own shell, your own rock, your own picture, please bring that next week. And with this is an old timer. Sometimes it likes to work and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm going to put Eckert away now, and I'm going to use the timer so you can see what I'm talking about. I was hoping to get to alternate nostril breathing, but we'll save that. A half hour really flies by, especially with Donna going blah, 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 huh? So let me set this timer. So you can set your timer, okay? You're going to just let it rock. So find that thing you're going to look at. Come into your breath. Put your feet down. Relax your toes. Move your toes curling up. Let them go. Soften the body. And again, if you'd like to think about being in a nice bubble of safety and light and diving into that, great. If you'd rather visualize something else, great. So find your point of focus. Take a moment to see what that might be. If none of this works for you, just sit and relax. Get your back into the back of the chair and breathe into the back of the chair. Just relax. All right, let's start. In and out. Ah, big shrug and sigh lets it all go. Ready to receive and empty. Fill and empty. And my voice is going to be very soft here, if at all. Just a little white noise, a little hum in the background. In and out. I'm going to let the timer worry about it so I don't have to think about it. Hearing. Come back to your focus. Just the fact that we're slowing down and being quiet brings a sense of peace and calm for you. Bring you back to your natural state of peace and bliss. In and out. Just another 2 minutes, doing a great job. Again, in the final moment, see how faithful you can be to that picture in your mind. All right, timer went off. Open your eyes slowly. Back we come. Do we have another few minutes, or do you all have to run out the door at 10? Do we have 3 minutes? Or the afternoon, yeah? Could we have coffee, please? I always wanted to do a yoga tea. It's been on my list for 25 years, but maybe we'll do it yet. The Council of Aging is so open to all these. It's just fabulous. I'm so excited to be here. We are missing Dorothy. Is she not the very pretty woman? Slender? Yeah. Is that Dorothy? Yes, okay. And someone else, so we're thinking of them today and our folks at home. Is there anything, any feedback, any sharing? Was it simple? Was it not easy? How was it? Are you raring to get out of that chair and get out of here? Anybody? Speak. Have you tried it at home for 5 minutes?
Yeah, but I'm distracted at home.
Has anyone tried it at home? It's a nightmare, isn't it? Just trying to sit there at home quietly. That's why I'm not Catholic, that's why everyone went to 8 o'clock Mass. I think all the women just got out real early, you know. Yeah. Anybody else?
It's very comforting to listen to the sounds. I really enjoyed it, the peace and listening to the
Yeah.
noises, nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't play any music today because I thought, it's lovely. It's to take that all into the same minute of your life. We realize how much we miss in a minute of our life, that we're just flying from here to there, and we just kind of miss that 5 minutes in the middle there. What was happening? Who was that person? What happened to that dog? You know, it's amazing. And that is the whole idea. Oh, I'm on a roll now, forgive me, but when we talk in yoga, is to be in the moment means to be fully present with each minute so you don't miss a minute of your life. That's the whole deal here. That's the whole mindfulness, being present, being fully conscious. So just being awake, being totally awake to everything that's happening. Like, look at those ants. Wow, they can really build something there, you know? I mean, it's fantastic. Take a walk down this path if you haven't. You might see something spring up in the water there. In the last month there were 7 kinds of flowers in that quarter of a mile I counted. Gosh, I mean, the world is a wonderful place. So anybody else? Anything going on? You ready to go for tea or something? Well, great. I hope forward. Thank you very much, whoever presented this beautiful day to us. And thank you, Sherry, again. Our friends at home, thank you for joining us, and thank you for media for covering this time that we can be together. And I'll have a handout for you. I meant to be on breath. I meant to bring that today, but I'll have another little, I call them my yoga fun strips, something just, so there we go. I think we covered it. And I'm sorry to repeat some of this, but sometimes there's new people or there's people at home, so we have to kind of go hit the basics. And each week we're trying to get a little more of your time into practice. So excellent. And I'm always happy to stay longer if we're allowed to do that. I have no pressing matters at 10:30. Thank you very much again. Thank you for just giving yourself credit for showing up today. Yeah, all right. Good job. All right.